Hydro 5 giving us a unique perspective of a big backup on the bay. Cargo ships are all stacked up with nowhere to go. KPIX 5 reporter Don Ford did some digging, found out part of the problem is in Oakland, but not all of it.
The next time when you're on the Bay Bridge and looking south and you think that's a lot of ships in port, you're right. A lot more than normal. The Coast Guard calls it Anchorage 9. It's a parking lot for ships where they wait for an open berth to unload and load. It is as crowded as it has been in years. There are 24 spaces and 19 of which are in use. The problem starts far from here.
It's full because of the congestion that's happening in the Southern California ports of LA and Long Beach. If you look out into their harbor, there's anywhere between 50 and 60 vessels waiting to berth.
Many of those are rescheduling to unload here up in Oakland. It's a complicated and serious job to keep all those ships safe and not bump into each other when the tide changes. Okay. The Coast Guard keeps a digital radar watch on all of them 24/7. Then there's this. The port just took delivery of new cranes. Cranes not online yet.
The tallest cranes in North America came here, and we're down one berth because they're assembling the cranes.
Port of Oakland says the increased container traffic is causing bottlenecks up and down the coast, driven by, they say, by the increased home shopping. Folks are clicking to shop.
Looking at this as a short-term issue, we're hoping that this logjam clears up in the next several weeks, but really, who knows? It's a wait and see.
Coast Guard has the authority to contact inbound ships and ask them to slow down until the situation improves. In Oakland, Don Ford, KPIX 5.
All right, family. Welcome back to another edition of Melanie Economic News. We're going to go ahead and let's get it started. I wanted to let you in on what's going on out there in California right now with the Port of Long Beach, all right, and the Port of LA. You see the news story about the backups. This is not just something recent. This has been going on for many years right now, and they're just now reporting on it. With regional reporting kicking in a few decades ago, back in the 90s, now you're seeing what's going on. You only get your regional news, but you want to know goods and services shortages. That is exactly what's going on out there. They estimate they put for the news camera about 40, 50 ships, but think about this going all the way back until last year, 2020. All right, and when this whole malt liquor virus kicked in, okay, and then all these ridiculous restrictions kicking in, so they can't get in the port, they can't offload their goods, so they're just sitting outside in the Port of Long Beach, Port of LA, all up and down the West Coast, and they're just sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. Also, about what the other said was going on is about the lack of them not taking dollars anymore, U.S. Treasuries. They're not taking them anymore, and they want their payments in precious metals. That is a story that's not being told about what's going on the West Coast. All right. With that being said, let's go and get started on this financial news. Let's take a look at yahoofinance.com. You see, look at the markets. Futures down. Futures are all down across the board. Go ahead and look at that right now. Everything's looking downward before the markets open. All right. Give you a better view here. Sorry about that. All right, you see the GBP gets more. Sorry about that. FTSE 100 is down. All right, Nikkei 225 is running well. It's running up. All right. Adjust this camera view a little bit. Okay. All right, you see the 10-year bond. The 10-year bond is at 1.660. That's a little bit down from the high. The VIX is up. The VIX is up as well too. All right, getting to some other currencies here. The GBP to US dollar is up. The US dollar to the Japanese yen is up as well too. All right, take a look at crude oil, especially with the blockage in the Suez Canal. Crude oil is down about $1. All right. Some ships are being forced to do the treacherous, to go around to the treacherous, the Cape of Good Hope on the tip of the so-called southern tip of South Africa, as well too. All right. All right. So let's go. That was from yahoofinance.com. Let's get into kitco.com as well too. Look at the spot price for precious metals. All right, look at the world spot price. Everything is taking the beating on down, from gold to all the way to palladium is all down. All right, rhodium is at 25,000. That was down from the high of what we saw last week of 29,000. All right. All right, so now let's get into the actual news here. Let's get into this one. This is silverseek.com. Mexican central bank reported to suspend silver production of the silver Libertads. All right. So that is the Mexican central bank, like the U.S. Mint here. They're now going to be reporting that they're going to suspend the production of the silver Libertads, the Mexican silver Libertad. So how about that? All right. So here we go with this one again. Once again, they're going to cut silver. They're going to suspend silver production, and especially with the time. They're probably they're doing the price control, especially like here in the U.S. with U.S. Mint and suspend silver production of silver, gold, and bars and coins, especially the coins. All right. So get into that. Look at this article here. This is from silverseek.com, right? Mexican central bank, they suspend this production of silver Libertads. And you may think that but it's just Mexico, and Mexico is not really a superpower, but Mexico has they have a very lot of mining silver mining going on in Mexico right now. All right, they have one of the world's largest producers of silver, and so don't just count out Mexico. Take that very seriously. Okay, expect silver prices to just shoot up, soar through the roof. Right. All right. Now next story here. This is from Credit Bulletin blogspot and blogspot.com. All right. This is an ongoing story. What's going on in Turkey right now? All right. Their economy has hit a free for all. Sorry about the way the camera is. I'm gonna try to give you a better view of it. All right, there we go, right there. All right. So look, the Mexican central bank here. They tried to raise rates. They had an actual central bank head who actually tried to come in and tried to do something with it. He was a strong proponent of bank rate raises. Or Nikkei Awaji, he had increased the rates by over 675 basis points to 17% since November to cool inflation. But what happened was when he did that, the economy tanked. All right, his attempt was, and his justification was, you have to raise rates to try to stave off hyperinflation and try to save the economy. But when that happened, the lira tanked, which was expected. And then Turkey's President Erdogan came in and sacked him. Sacked means basically he fired the man. All right, and then he put in another central bank governor who was not in favor of rate increases, and then he didn't want to do it, and then the economy tanked even further down. All right, so he's being put back in by President Erdogan. Put back in President Erdogan to try to stave off of what's going on. Some people around the world, according to these central banks, are trying to do the right thing and trying to help the economies, but they have to do the tough decisions. Tough decisions need to be made. And most people don't want to do it. They want to say their political lies. They want to make people feel better and feel good. All right. So go ahead and look up that story from Turkey to see what's going on. All right. And for our final story for this this morning, on this day, March 29th, 2021. All right. Here we go. As if things can get worse and we already taxed to death in the U.S. This is coming from your new Transportation Secretary, Mayor Pete Buttigieg. Yeah, the former presidential candidate who was elected, he was nominated for Transportation Secretary. He's pushing for a vehicle tax. We're already taxed to death in the U.S. If you go look at how much taxes we really pay across the U.S., this is going all the way across the board, each organizations, there's about 99,000 different types of taxes and fees that we pay. All right, and where's this money going? We have no clue. All right, they don't want to tell anybody, but there's indications that you do is follow the money. You'll know exactly where it's going. All right, so here we go. He wants to push for taxes. All right, we'll skip down into the article a little bit. This is from ZeroHedge.com. All right, Buttigieg told CNBC Friday that the idea was on the table to help pay for Biden's incoming infrastructure plans. All right, so here we go. We're being taxed again to help pay for this government's irresponsibility. They want to all these grandiose plans, but they don't know how to pay for them. So what do they do? Let's tax the American people. Let's tax the rest of the citizens in this country, the hardworking taxpayers. All right, people who pay taxes, who are keeping the economy going. We're going to be taxed more and more again. All right. So go ahead and look at this article and get that story. He's pushing for a vehicle tax, and with Congress full of Democrats, they more likely going to pass it, and we're going to be paying just to travel. The further you travel, the more taxes you're going to pay per mile. All right. So they're stealing money from everything. But if this ain't socialism, the merger of corporate and state powers, I don't know what is. Somebody enlighten me. All right. So with that being said, I want to thank you for joining us another edition of Economic News. Thank you for joining us. And as we always say, you are your own best financier. Become your own banker. Become your own savings and loans. Become your own credit union. You're your own best financier. And once again, let's get the barter system started with your neighbors. Get your barter system, get together in your communities. Get together with other communities, and we'll push it wide. Push it wide. All right. Take care of each other and be safe. Once again, I want to thank you for joining us in another edition of Economic News. Let's get it started.